Daily stock market update on the 7th of May after US Open. Oil is back below $100. I said a week ago, in a week, it'll be back below $100 because Trump will de-escalate. That's when it was $120. If you're not following me on Telegram, you really should. alpeshpatel.com. What else are we noticing? Well, he's probably going to escalate within the next 7 to 10 days and expect oil to jump above $110 by then. Wall Street bonuses are going to be some of the best that they've ever been. Well, it's been a good few years for those people who are too timid to be investing. You're missing out. Timidity equals poverty in the long term when you're not invested. Chip company ARM has said they see sluggishness in the key smartphone industry. In the past, that would have knocked chip makers really into trouble. It doesn't at the moment because AI data center growth. And that diversification is really important because these companies are hugely profitable. Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson said the reason we're seeing continued growth in the stock market is because of that profitability of the underlying companies. And this is the bit people are missing. They don't quite understand profitability. They understand prices, and that prices are up. Humans are simple. What they don't understand is the profitability generating it. Let me give you, for example, NVIDIA. NVIDIA's return on invested capital. We're looking backwards now. This is what they have achieved, is about 75%. For any business, that is extraordinarily high. So you may well think, well, that doesn't tell me whether it's overvalued or not. No, it doesn't. It tells you about the efficiency of the company. What about the valuation? Well, one particular valuation metric is not future profitability. That could be anywhere. You might be guided by the company itself. Let's just look at what it's been doing. It trades on what's called a multiple, i.e. you're paying $40 for every dollar of profit it's achieved. Is that a lot? Is that little? Well, here's what's interesting. Let me give you the names of some companies which are on that metric more expensive than NVIDIA. Lam Research is, ASML is, CLAC is, AMAT, some of the ticker symbols, TXN, ASX, Marvel. They're all more expensive than NVIDIA. So for those who are thinking simply looking at a price tells you which direction things are going to go in, you're sadly mistaken. You know what has a return on invested capital in the AI and semiconductor space similar to NVIDIA? Nothing. Nothing. There isn't a single company anywhere near that. Anyway, that happens to be NVIDIA. If you look at things which happen to be cheaper than that, well, if you're a client of mine, you'll have been given those names already this year. We looked at the quadrants. So we wanted the upper left quadrant, high return on invested capital, low valuation. Okay, those were two of the factors. There were others we looked at, but those were significant ones. When we put it into quadrants, it was really easy to see what is not generating return on capital and what is expensive. And that might put you in sort of danger territory. And then what is on the cheaper side? And there's three companies which have lower valuation in that space of semiconductors, quantum, and AI than even NVIDIA. Okay, go with the data. That is the point that I want to make about that. What else have we got on the daily updates? Well, I've already told you that oil is going to go to 110. I think the market is semi-expecting that in any event. Certainly it's at all-time highs and it is roaring ahead. We have the note from Mike Wilson on profitability. As long as companies are profitable, this is not like the dot-com bubble. I just had breakfast 2 days ago with Sally Bundock, who used to be my co-presenter on Bloomberg TV. There's a picture over my shoulder of her and I, fond memories. She's now at BBC News, where I do the newspaper review occasionally. And we were discussing how this is actually different to the dot-com bubble, the era that she and I lived through. We presented through every evening on our show. We would talk about all the way up, the markets going up, 1999, till we ended the show in, I think it was about 2004. So the point is, having had that experience in the grey hairs, or what's left of the grey hairs, to prove it, the difference this time is profitability. I'm not saying this time it's different. What I'm saying is, as long as there is profitability and that profitability is exceeding expectations, now profits can be manipulated on a company-by-company basis, but it's pretty difficult to collude and manipulate across a whole sector or indeed a whole market. Look out for profitability. Even within semiconductor companies, there are indeed good and bad ones. And the bad ones are getting punished because you know what? the professionals know how to pull up the data I just pulled up, and then I give to my clients. And then when they make those portfolios, and by the way, if you'd like a free pension review and what you own in your pension, why your pension's not performing, and I can guarantee you your pension isn't performing, then have a look at alpeshpatel.com, give us a call, do a free pension review there. Wall Street is relatively bullish despite oil. They're getting used to it. There is a wall of problems coming ahead. The companies which are profitable are the ones that the market is moving to, because when you divide those stocks into quadrants, you see there is a flight to quality. Why is there a flight to quality? Well, you've got two choices. You can either be invested or not. The market's chosen it wants to be invested. Then it's chosen the next step, which is it better be invested in quality companies, i.e. those companies with fat profit margins, with good internal efficiencies, and which are generating lots of profits, because when the problems everybody else can see are going to happen, it'll be those companies which will be the most resilient. Doesn't mean they won't fall, but they'll be the type you want to buy more of, not dump when the falls happen. That's the mindset. Professionals are not as stupid as you might think on this. Fortinet up 15%. It's one of our quality 5 plus. DoorDash was up 12%. I don't think it's one of the ones we've got on our models. The biggest problem we've got at the moment with our portfolios, and it's a nice problem to have, is that all of a sudden we're getting emails from clients that, wait a minute, I'm up 400% on this. I'm up 300% on that. Do I wait 12 months to rebalance, or should I start doing some of that now? That is, I wouldn't say headache, but that is the biggest thing. So we create a little document for them. And in terms of best practice, if you want to have a look at best practice, get in touch, have a call, have a look at alpeshpatel.com on how to get a call, have a free pension review, or look at the articles that I've been writing on my LinkedIn and on my blog. All of that, again, alpeshpatel.com will help you find all of that. That's it. It's good times in that regard. No reason to panic for the moment. Will the markets fall? Markets always fall. Markets always rise. They tend to rise more often than they fall. If you've got resilient companies, you're happy if they go up, obviously. You're also happy if they fall, because they're the kind of companies that you can buy more of when they do. Look at the data. Don't go for the narratives. Thank you.